Today, we're making two simple recipes using salted fish, potato and okra. All fresh, nice ingredients. I'm going to show you an easy way to cut up a lot of stuff. And that's how we end up this delicious dish. First, we're going to start getting our saltfish prepped and the potatoes and the okra. I'm just going to soak this in some water, put it on the stove to boil for 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'm going to remove it and mash it up. I'm using pollock fillets, which is just as tasty as any other fish. The potatoes, you can use any potato you need to make this dish. I'm just going to wash and peel these potatoes, and we have to cut them up. This is how I usually cut my potatoes because I like it very thin. Whenever you're using a knife, just always be careful. As you can see, this is how thin it gets when you cut it on the board. Very, very thin. People use their hand too, same thing. And there's my saltfish. I went ahead and mashed it up a little. And here are our ingredients. I got garlic, onions, tomato paste, some scallions, parsley, pimento pepper, and yellow pepper. Very simple ingredients. And here, these two pepper, man, you gotta go get these two pepper. These two pepper are full of flavors. Gotta try these. Let's saute our onion and garlic first. Usually I'll add tomato and tomato paste here too, but just put this aside for now. Give this a 2-3 minutes in the pot by itself. And then add the tomato and the tomato paste. Stir this around. Get it nice and coated. Add our fish. Same thing. Remember, this fish is already cooked already, so it's not a long process. That's why the potatoes cut very thin too. Add in our greens and peppers. Then we're going to start adding some potatoes. I have a small pan, that's why I have to add a little bit at a time. But if you have a bigger pan, you can put it all together. Just cover this so it can release some moisture and use that same moisture to soften the potato. You know, I've tried it before with not covering it. It cooks, but it kind of still be very not cooked right through. You know, with potato and saltfish, you gotta have some roti, right? We're gonna have some sada roti with ours today. That is roti that doesn't have any oil in it. You know, you can add a little bit of salt after you taste your potato to see, you know, if it needs any more. If the saltfish didn't have enough salt. Wow, my roti swelling in the toaster. You guys cook roti in toaster too? You gotta try that method. And that's it for potato and saltfish. You know, now I'm gonna go and show you guys quickly how we did the okra. So okra, you gotta, you know, wash it and you gotta dry it real good. Then I usually put it out in the sun. Take off the head and the tail and then I cut it up small. So I'm gonna show you how I usually cut my okra. It's very simple, but you gotta be careful with this. If you're not accustomed to using a sharp knife or multiple okras at one time, don't try this. This just speeds up my process 5 times faster than cutting each one by hand. As I said before, be careful if you're going to use this method. The knife can slip, the chopper can slip, and you can get cut. You know, we don't want that. But for me, it's very easy. You know, also, some people are accustomed to just cutting it one at a time. Nothing is wrong with that. You know, you sit down and chit chat, kill some time, watch some Young and Restless. Then I usually like to take my okra and put it out in the sun or next to a window where there's some sun where it can dry a little. The paper towel is going to absorb some of the moisture. Now, some of the okra usually stick to the paper towel. Nothing wrong with that. Your finger can pull that off. Usually I cut this overnight and leave it on the table. And by morning, it's nice and dry. So let's get to the stove. And, you know, it's the same process with the saltfish. I soaked it, put it on the stove, turn it off for a couple of minutes, and that's it. You can heat up some oil, and here I'm going to show you a different, you know, I'm add the onion, garlic, potato, onion, garlic, tomato, and tomato paste. Oh, look at this, you see? Even though it's filet fish, they still do have bone in them sometimes. So I usually have to go through it because sometimes people are eating it, my kids are eating it, you know, the bone can get stuck in their throat. And these 4 I'm going to put in the pot at one time. The onion, garlic, tomato paste, and the tomato. And then we're gonna add the greens and the peppers afterwards. And again, I tell you, these two pepper, man, they light up any pot. Full of flavor. My pot was too hot, talking too much. Let's get this saute up now. Some people say tomato, tomato, tomato. You know, all how we say it. So for me, it's the same thing. Let it saute up a little. And you want to caramelize the onions and the garlic a little. Mainly the onions. I don't like to burn my garlic too much. Looking ready. Just about. Alright, I'm going to add the fish now. Remember, this fish again is pre-cooked. You know, it's salted, it's pre-cooked, so it doesn't take long to cook. Get everything in there stirred up. Now we can add our ochros. Now some people don't like to cover it because they want it dry, dry, dry. I usually cover mine so the okra releases a little bit of moisture and helps the cooking process easier. But that's just my take. You can leave the cover off if you want to. Now I'm just going to continue turning this to make sure it doesn't catch in the bottom and burn. And if you taste it and you need some more salt, you can add yours. I'm going to taste mine to make sure everything is good. I can eat okra just like this. Just delicious. I have to add a little bit more salt. You know, you can let this continue cooking until it gets really, really dry. Or you can turn it off now and eat it, you know. This part is your preference. The okra is almost done. And that's it. I think I'm going to take it off now. This is it, guys. All done. Our saltfish and potato, saltfish and okra with roti. Just delicious. Enjoy. And as always, thanks for watching.